Welcome, my friends, to the Be a Paid Speaker Now podcast. I'm Deborah Deras, your host. Each week, you'll hear from top experts in the speaking industry who will share their insider secrets. Learn what works and what doesn't by hearing real stories of success and failure. My intention is to be your speaking coach to help you reach your goals faster and easier. I believe you are the messenger for the message. So thanks for tuning in, and let's get started. Hello, this is Deborah Deras, your host of the Be a Paid Speaker Now podcast, where you are the messenger for the message, and I bring you experts to help you get your message out to the world, because I believe that we all have a soul's contract, that we are here because we have divine talents, skills, and abilities, and we're here to express them fully and have success with ease and with grace. And today we have a guest that is so special to me. I'm going to start sweating just thinking about introducing him, because he is one of those people where I was like, he's my dream guest. Even before I visioned the show and I was thinking of who would I want to interview first, like my top person, he came in. He has been my inspiration to do the Be a Paid Speaker Now Academy. He has been a healing light worker, light in my life since I first met him. And I call him sibling because I feel like we're family. He's a brother from another mother, but he is also a transformational specialist, holistic health practitioner, the author of this amazing book that I bought a million times called Easy Breezy Prosperity, that will literally change your relationship with money and really love money, and money will love you back. Please help me welcome Emmanuel Dagher.
Hey, my beautiful friend, how are you?
I am fantastic. I'm so grateful that you had time. I know your schedule is so busy to be with us today.
And I'm so grateful for you, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I'm so thankful.
Oh, I just love him so much. So, when I first met you, I remember going to one of your like theta healing workshops. Do you remember that
hmm
back in the valley? And you were
Yes.
doing these amazing workshops and allowing people to experience your unique blend of healing practices. How did you discover that talent, and
Mm.
what was your journey to find that?
Thank you so much for that question. And I just want to also say, it takes one to know one. So you see all this goodness in me, the healing and all that, but you are also all of that. So I just wanted you to receive that because I know you're always giving to everybody. So thank you. Um, how I got here, the short story is that I kind of, like many of us, have gone through a lot of struggle and a lot of hardship in my life. I grew up in the civil war of Lebanon up until I was the age of 11. So my first primitive years were very trauma, very struggle oriented. But I knew that even at a young age, that if I was able to escape or be freed from that situation, and my family as well, that I would spend the rest of my life figuring out a way to help people. I didn't know what that looked like at that age, but I just knew service and being there for others, just like yourself, was a deep, deep, deep passion of mine. And if I was going to have that opportunity to have freedom, I would spend the rest of my life honoring that deep passion. So come forward, I came to the United States and was able to have that freedom. I was able to find alternative methods to a lot of the traumas that I was experiencing. I had PTSD. I used to have a stutter. Sometimes when I'm excited, it still comes up. I used to have scoliosis, a 30-degree curve in my spine. I used to have really bad skin because I had rashes everywhere. So a lot of that I know, having studied a lot of alternative methods of healing, is that it started emotionally. So if there's a breakdown emotionally, if there's some kind of energy that's stuck in your energy field, it starts to manifest physically. So starting there, I, delved into a lot of different holistic methods because, I honor Western medicine. I think there's a place for it, but to me, I think the less intrusive and the more holistic and the more kind of like less band-aid effect, so you're actually healing at the root, felt more in resonance for me. So having gone that route, I was able to heal myself of all these things and then use those same principles and tools to help others. And it's just been, thousands at this point, but it's been an honor. And I always say it's not me, it's universe, it's God, it's source energy that's doing it. I'm just allowing myself to witness it. And it's just been amazing.
So you used the healing principles that you teach to heal the PTSD, the scoliosis. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
All of
yeah. 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 So theta was just one aspect, but there's so many different things that and just intuitively, I was always open. My grandmother was very, very intuitive, as you know. And she, before the war and everything, she was like the town intuitive. So everyone would come to her.
Oh.
They would do the tea leaves and the coffee and flipping, all that stuff. And she was very accurate. And she never charged because, she was in that old school mentality, but she would always allow them to bring blessings like bread or, some gifts and things like that, flowers. So just to honor that energy exchange. But she recognized that same gift that I had because she saw I was very sensitive, very open, very aware. And so she kind of trained me and allowed my mom to told my mom to help me stay open so she didn't ever make me feel like, if I see energy or if I feel energy that's wrong because I think we all have that gift on some level, but because we're told that it's not right, it doesn't fit in, a lot of us close it up. So because of that, that because my mom let me stay open and my grandma made sure she did, and my grandma's support and training, I was able to combine that with studying in school. I went to school to learn psychology, and I learned a lot of different healing technologies, and then kind of combined them. And here we are, the core work.
And so, for those people that aren't aware of your work, how would you describe, in a sense, how do you help people and what do you help them to heal?
Yes. So basically we help them heal anything, so whether it's financial, whether it's
Mm.
physical, emotional, mental, and it's them healing themselves. What I do is I bring them back to themselves. When you are at ease in yourself, when you're at ease in your body, we are conditioned because of ancestral patterns and generational and historical things that have happened to always live in survival. So when we're always operating in survival, it's been scientifically shown, even doctors are showing that a person who's always at stress is going to start experiencing a lot of physical breakdowns and they're going to start experiencing a lot of issues in their life. So when we start to come back to ease, which is your true nature, which is your true self, then you are able to start showing up for yourself in that way, loving yourself, so excuse me, supporting yourself. And then from that space, you can start to open yourself up to the blessings that are always available to you from the universe, whether it's money, relationships, health, wealth, and you know
Mhm.
this very well, law of attraction, but making sure you're showing up for yourself first in that way to bring in the ease, and then everything else follows. That's what I do. I'm helping people do that through applied quantum physics and a lot of actual real palpable principles combined to create that healing.
Oh my God, I had an aha moment. I keep getting chills when you're talking. So it's because the ease, because my friend was saying to me, why is it the only time I can only meet a man is when I'm on vacation? And it's because she's
Mm, yep,
relaxed,
yep,
right?
yes,
And
absolutely.
I've been, and the reason I'm so familiar with everything he's talking about is because every single program that he has, I was enrolled in. He's got this like program on abundance and this program on chakras. And I started with the abundance because we all, start where you're at, right? I was like, I just need money, friend. Because
Mm-hmm.
I was working too hard and not
Mm-hmm.
understanding why the harder I worked, the less money I made until I took his program and
Mm.
had that aha moment that the more you have self care, self love, then abundance can come in. It wasn't working
Yes.
harder because the
Mm-hmm.
harder I worked, the less money I made. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, and after taking his program, I realized it wasn't about the money, it was about the chakras and the
Mm-hmm.
alignment and then doing every single night, even if I'm getting my eyelashes done, I listen to your chakra meditation.
Oh,
They're so powerful
thank you.
because it's the inner work. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like one of the reasons I wanted to have you particularly on this podcast is because I'm here to support experts that are about transformation, not
Mm-hmm.
just people that want to get paid and make
Right.
money like a quick thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I really want people that are out here to transform the world. And I really believe that speaking is a great platform to get out. And I see how your career like started to unfold with healing with the masters, but can you talk about your journey to be a speaker? Because I don't know if that's something you
Yes.
thought about.
Right. It's so funny because I still don't consider myself a speaker, although I've been doing it. I spoke at the United Nations and all that
Oh my,
stuff. So it's just crazy. But I fell into it simply because I was open and available. So it's that
mm,
ease energy and understanding that it's not about me. Because when I was a kid, one of the biggest phobias that I ever had, I would have rather, hid under a rock instead of do this, is to speak. And having known you for so long, even when I first met you and saw how easy it was for you, I'm just like, wow, like it's so inspiring to see someone like you and just have that, it's second nature. So when I realized that speaking is not about you, it's about the audience and what
exactly.
they are going to benefit from your insights, your guidance, your it completely changed everything for me. So once I did that, I started to say yes more. I started, I always get people asking me, "Do you want to be on the show? Do you want?" And I used to resist it so much, simply because I had a fear of speaking. But then I just started saying yes and started showing up and allowed myself to move out of my way and allowed spirit to do its thing. And just always making sure that it's coming from a place of integrity, love, and the rest will take care of itself. So that's sort of how it unfolded. As far as the specifics go, um, I wrote my first book was Easy Breezy Miracle, and that kind of launched me, and then Easy Breezy Prosperity, and then the shows and the opportunities. But regardless, it's about the yes and saying yes and being open to saying yes from a place that feels good to you and that honors you, because you may have a little bit of resistance, but just make sure that, is it resistance because you're nervous and you know that something great will happen on the other side of that, or is it, oh, I'm not being honored, I better say no to this? So just getting
Good
clear on that.
distinction.
Yes,
Good
yes.
distinction. And it's really important to pause and ask yourself because oftentimes I learned the hard way that it's better to say no to something that's not in alignment for you than to
Yes.
say yes to everything. Because once you start speaking, you're going to get tons of offers all the time,
Hmm. Yeah.
right?
And I would have to say, my friend, is that this thing that I do is an extension of me. I
Yes.
am not, it, I want to go back to the thing where you said people are looking for money, and I honor that because we all, we've all been conditioned to believe that we need this to be happy. But what I'm asking people to consider is that what if money is a side effect of you choosing to love yourself and choosing to make
Mm.
yourself the priority first through self care, through generosity, and also being generous? The minute I feel lack, I'm like, oh, I'm not getting giving enough. Let me go give. And
Oh.
my mind's like, no, I don't want to give. I don't want to give right now. That's especially when I give and I just give
Mm.
freely and I do it in a way, not for my family, but strangers, just randomly, making that difference. It could be buying them their cup of coffee. It could be just buying lunch or dinner for the person that's sitting next to me, whatever it is. So when you're in lack or when you're driven by the idea of how much more you can get, it's going to block you. It's going to
Mm.
stifle you. But if you ask Oprah or Ellen or those amazing, generous people who have just expanded their abundance and their happiness in such powerful ways, they will tell you that it's because they were serving, they were giving,
Right.
they were helping. And once you shift, make that shift, and it's not something that can happen. I mean, it can happen overnight, but it's not something that you have to expect or put pressure on yourself to happen. But just have little check ins. Okay, if I'm feeling lack today, how can I give more? If I'm feeling lack today, how can I redefine what lack is? Because to me, lack is focusing abundantly on something that you don't want. So it's not even lack, it's actual abundance, it's actual um, part of the universe. It's just you're focusing in a direction that's not expanding you
It's
or
a
feeling.
reverse law of attraction, or it works
Yeah,
either way. It's neutral, right? So
yeah, yeah.
you're
So
getting what you desire, you're just focused on the wrong thing.
exactly. So money is just the side effect of you choosing to make yourself happy. And if you're not seeing much of it, that means you're not truly fully committing to your well-being and your happiness first. That's sort of what I've, having worked with so many people, that's what I've noticed as a common theme is when people are chasing the paper, they're chasing the money, they're actually not giving anything to themselves. They're always just in search. They're in like they're not going within, they're always going without, and it's going to tire you out. You're going to get exhausted. You're going to find yourself in a job that you don't like, and it's going to become really hard. There's no judgment on that. It's just, do you want to continue that, or are you willing to do something different?
And you just said something that was really profound. When you go without, like you seek external validation, a lot of speakers or people that want to be speakers are looking for audiences to validate them or coaches or external things to validate without. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to go within, especially as a speaker, because I know for you and I, as empaths and very sensitive to energy, it can be really draining being around so many people and then everyone wants to hug you and then you're like,
Yep.
and if you don't give yourself that self-love and that self-care, because I
Mm-hmm.
believe that the generosity thing is it's easier for me than giving to
It is.
myself.
Yeah.
So that takes practice and
Mm-hmm.
intention. How do you care for yourself when you're traveling and on the road and speaking
Mm.
so that you're providing for your self-care?
So at the most basic fundamental level is taking care of your health as far as what you're eating. Make sure you're eating healthy, even if it's just for that day or that trip. Try to cut back from the potato chips, things like that, because that does actually affect your energy. So if
Right.
you're drinking lots of water, make sure you're eating a lot of greens and protein to make sure that you're really getting that energy. So that's at the most basic fundamental level. The other one is meditating and just
Yeah.
being in nature. For me, I don't like to just sit there, although I honor that, but I'm not one of those people who just sits there and thinks nothing. I like to take a walk and just look at nature and be in my five senses and get really in that. That helps me get present. Also, reminding myself that this is not about, again, what I'm going to share. It's not about me, it's about inspiring and helping
Yeah.
other people. And so that calms me down. And then also loving myself. Usually, when I go on a trip, like I'm going to be going to Chicago for Celebrate Your Life soon.
Good.
And I'm so grateful. And I always schedule a massage because if
Good.
you do that, you're going to say and affirm to yourself, I love me on a deep, it's not like a egoic love, it's a reverence. It's like honoring spirit kind of love because you are, each one of us is spirit, is universe, is source energy. So from that space, I show up for my audience. I like to call them my friends. Um,
I call them my friends too.
yes, yes. And
So
from
did
that
Prince,
space,
by the way.
oh, he did.
Yeah, he said, "I don't like to call them fans because I don't want any fanatics, so I call them friend."
Oh, that's awesome.
Mhm.
How awesome. Yeah, so I call them my friends. And so when they are giving you love and when they're giving you affection and support and want to hug you, you receive it. Because
Yes.
how many of us, especially those who are listening right now, have spoken and someone comes up to you and gives you a compliment, but it's kind of hard to receive that, right? You're like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh," or like you're not paying attention, or you're thinking about something else. So when you're loving yourself and taking care of yourself, from eating healthy to meditating to being connected to your mission, and pampering yourself, you're going to be more inclined to receive the love, to
Yeah.
receive the support from others in a way that's still humble, but you're honoring them.
I love it. And I love that you repeated again about focusing on the audience. One of the things that I teach in the Be a Paid Speaker Now Academy, to the speak with confidence part, is to
Mm-hmm.
remember that you are the messenger for the message and it is through you and not from you. So when
Mm-hmm.
I first started speaking, I'm in front of like judges and lawyers, and I was like just in all these audiences, rocket scientists at
Mm-hmm.
NASA, Caltech, all PhD students. I started feeling intimidating. And I remember in my meditation, God said, "It's not from you. You don't need to worry. It's through you." And it
Mm-hmm.
took all the pressure and the stress off of it.
Yes,
Really,
absolutely.
really helped. So I'm so glad you talked about the massage. One of my other top speakers says that she gets like a pedicure, foot massage
Oh,
right after she
nice.
speaks. So it's so wonderful
Yeah.
to hear these self-care practices. So we were talking about money, and I
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about money when it comes to speaking. Because
Yes.
I know for me it was really challenging at first because getting paid as a speaker is totally different than a job or a gig, and it's much more money, and I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
used to it. How
Mm-hmm.
do you know what to charge or how to accept
Mm-hmm.
the money, and what do you say yes to and no to?
Mm-hmm. So in the beginning, I was saying yes to everything. So it didn't really matter because I was just so excited and I just wanted to get the message out. But what happens is we have to create a understanding and almost like a precedence to
Mm,
yourself that there has to be an exchange. And this exchange has to be honoring your time, your energy, because I know a lot of speakers would do what they're doing for free if they could. If all their that they were getting all the money that they wanted, all that outside of that, they do it for free just because they are born leaders. They're here to serve, they're here to help. So you have to be in a space of understanding, although there's a part of you that really wants to just give away the farm and then some,
exactly.
you also have to understand there's the thing called the law of circulation. We've
Yes.
heard it. So if you understand that the law of circulation asks us that we have to receive as much as we give and we have to
Mhm.
give as much as we receive. There has to be a balance there. So if you start to put out all this wonderful energy and you're giving and you're speaking and your time and you're probably spending a lot of money on your plane ticket and all that, you're going to start getting depleted if you're not getting anything in return. You may even start getting a little irritated and resentful and like,
Yes.
why am I doing this? And you may get upset at the career path that you've chosen. So what I received, we can say spirit guided me early on was it's important to give to myself first, like we were talking about. So, giving yourself love, compassion, pampering yourself. So, you set the precedence for others to do the same. And once you start to do that for yourself, you'll start getting offers, you'll start getting opportunities, and you will see that, oh, this is more money than I thought, or oh, and before maybe it was uncomfortable for you, or you are blocking yourself. Now because you're loving yourself and taking care of yourself, you're, oh, I deserve that, I'm worthy of that. And that worthiness and deservingness is what's going to set the foundation for you to understand what you have to offer is important, and it transcends any money, anything that, all the material stuff. It's important, it needs to be out there. When you do that, the money will just come when you're in that space of yes, I receive, I'm willing to give to myself, I'm willing to be generous, because that's another thing. A lot of people who have blocks, especially in this business, they are still focusing on the money first. And so
Mm.
that's about getting, getting, getting.
Right, right, right.
So find an opportunity to give to someone. It could be a stranger, it could be a donation or whatever, because the universe, I always see it. The mind sometimes is like, well, we don't physically see it as like an instant thing sometimes, but when you can actually understand that there is a law of circulation, what you put out, you're going to receive, the law of attraction. You know, what you feel, what you see, what you envision, what you put out is going to come back to you. All of that is real. It's real. And when you see it as real as your breath or
Mm.
as real as the next step that you're taking physically, it's going to change your life. And that's going to start opening you up to understanding that there's something far greater than just what you see, like the physical, you know, the computer, or there's an energy.
Mhm.
And that invisible energy will give you everything when you're fully loving yourself, honoring yourself, and being generous. Those are the key principles to opening yourself up to more prosperity.
I love it. I love it. And that's why my mom, whenever I would call her and be like, Mom, I'm struggling with money. And she would say, Have you been tithing? Have you?
Ah,
That was like always her first question, you know. And, you know, sometimes tithing and the whole principle of it, and with religion and dogma and institutions and politics, it can be touchy. So you don't
mm-hmm,
have to tithe necessarily to a spiritual center. You could tithe to, like you said, to an organization, or just give. It doesn't,
mm-hmm,
you can't do the 10% or don't feel that you can,
mm-hmm.
but giving allows you to receive
Right.
in
And an act
return.
of kindness out of your ordinary, usual thing. One of the people that is such an inspiration to me, you know her, my mom.
Hello.
And she always, like, yes, she always, like, all of the grocery clerks and at the coffee place, they all know her. I mean, she gives them little dollar coins and just leaves
Oh,
little blessings and notes and miracle cards. I mean, she's always doing something.
what?
And she's one of the most lucky people. Like, she's so lucky. She's always getting wonderful opportunities and blessings. And I saw that in action. And I was like, I want to be just like that. It's
Mm.
just amazing.
My mom too. Like if there's ever a raffle, she always wins. Like
Isn't
a
that
hundred,
amazing?
100% of the time. But
Right?
she's the kind of person that was like giving to her boyfriend's sons and then giving to just constantly
Mm-hmm.
giving. But then it's also the balance of it. So
Yes.
I know when I was first starting speaking, my coach says it's just as easy to get a $50,000 gig as a
Mm.
$5,000 gig. And I think the most I was paid for a keynote at that time was 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a professor at the University of Phoenix at the time. And I was like, okay, let me just
Mm.
add a zero. And I let it
Mm.
go like into a balloon. And that next week, I got a call from an advertising agency that had looked up Latina speaker on YouTube, and they
Mm.
wanted to know if I would do a gig for Verizon on technology. And they said, "Have you ever taught technology?" I'm like, "I'm actually teaching a technology class at University of Phoenix right now." And it was like, it was that,
Yeah.
and I was like, that is the energy to be repeated again.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I
you
mean? It
can't
was
control that. That's the
right,
universe. And so
right.
when you're at ease, right? When you're at ease, what you said, the key thing for me was you released it. You just set
Yeah.
your intention, you put an extra zero, and you released it. Then look what showed up for you. So it's just about being in that space of letting it go, having that expectancy, but not attached to anything specific, just allowing it to be.
And that's what's so hard for the people that I coach, because if I told them do a website, do a Cicero, and all the masculine energy do, they can do that. But when
Mm-hmm.
I say be
Mm-hmm.
aligned, be surrender,
Mm-hmm.
let go, release, it's a little bit more challenging. Are there,
Mm-hmm.
besides meditation, walking in nature, are there any tools that you use to just to allow yourself to be at ease?
Absolutely. So my question that I ask myself every day is this doing coming from a place of survival or is it
Mhm.
coming from a place of thriving? Because
Ooh,
when it's coming from a place of thriving, it's very much connected to your intuition
right.
and you feel guided to take action. But if you're always doing and you're always coming from a place of survival, it's going to start creating exhaustion and irritability and frustration and imbalance and all of that. So ask yourself, am I taking this action step because it feels very much survival based or does it feel very thrival? Does it feel easy? Does it feel natural? That's when you know it's thriving based. It's very natural and easy to your true self. It feels expansive. It makes your heart sing. It makes you happy. But if you're feeling lack, limitation, fear, hesitation, excuses, all of that, it's often coming from survival. So that's the question that I ask myself every day. Am I choosing to take this action step because someone canceled something and you like, let's say a membership or something with me, and I have to try to make more money? Or is it because I'm actually feeling inspired to start a new book and I want to write something and it's just flowing? And so which one feels more enjoyable to me? For me, I'm going to choose writing the book and not trying to, work so hard to get another client per se.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because once you
Yes.
write the book, the clients will just show up because what you have to offer is expanding anyway.
Exactly. So ask yourself the question, is this action coming from striving or thriving?
Mm-hmm.
And striving is like this to me, and thriving is just open,
Yes,
receptive.
I
It's
love
just
that.
like expansive. Ooh, I get
Mm-hmm.
chills just
Mm.
thinking about it. But one of the things that I think you are masterful at, in fact, you are my inspiration. You're my inspiration in so many ways. I can't even tell you. But when I see you do a Facebook Live, I remember it was Christmas time and I was with my friend who's doing a startup and she was feeling overwhelmed about money. I'm like, let's just sit down and have an Emmanuel marathon. And you came on Facebook Live. Remember, you were doing something?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then that encouraged me to buy your abundance program. So,
Mm.
is that like an inspired action strategy? And how do you use Facebook Live to enroll people
Mm.
or to invite people into your
Yeah.
online programs? Because I think that's really important as speakers, not just to be the sage on the stage, but
Mm-hmm.
also to have things online for people for passive income and for
Mm.
easy access.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. And I see you doing that as well all the time. So I think we're just inspiring each other.
Yeah.
But for me, I think free content is very important and
Yes.
always putting out, because again, the way that I do it is not that I'm expecting anyone to
No.
opt in or anything. I do it because I know the law of the universe. When you give out good information and content that's going to help people heal and inspire them, and you do that for free, the universe is going to bless you however that looks. It may be through the person that you helped, or it could be some other thing, but the universe is going to support you and help you and open doors for you. So for me, whenever I do videos and lives and things like that, I do it from a place of, okay, what's going on in the climate right now,
Mhm.
energetically? What's going
Right.
on? Like at the beginning of the year, I did one specifically helping people to move through the blocks that are holding them back. So I went through the 11 blocks that were helping, because at the new year, a lot of people want to lose weight, they want to start a new job, they want to, so there's a lot of angst, there's a lot of excitement, but there's a lot of pressure that they
Right.
put on themselves, and as a result, sometimes they don't even do anything. They kind of just, okay, well, there we go. So what I felt, I kind of tapped into the energy of what's going on, and I said, right now people don't need to another weight loss thing or whatever. What they need is to feel at peace, to feel connected to themselves so that they feel inspired and in their power when it comes to the opportunities showing up, or if they do end up finding a book that helps them lose weight or whatever. So it's about you taking care of you. So for me, it's always about my friends, just focusing on their well-being, checking in every few, maybe like every 6 weeks. I kind of check in to see what's going on, what's happening. A few weeks ago, I released something, a video called Healing Your Inner Child or Dear Inner Child. And I created a video that helped people understand that we can love our inner child from a place of non-judgment, seeing that it was just trying to protect you, trying to keep you safe, all those times that it was in fear, it held you back, all those things, rather than judging ourselves. A lot of people call the inner child the ego. So rather than judging it, trying to get rid of it, being mean to it, actually loving it as our child, embracing it and healing that. I felt that in the collective because, first of all, when I see things in multiples, so when I'm having clients or when I have emails coming to me specifically about a certain subject, I listen and I say, okay, this is what people need right now. And so I'll create a video for that. And then I'm hoping it's helping people.
So what I hear you, because my marketing mind is translating everything you're saying into marketing, it's like identifying the pain or the problem of your ideal target
Yes. Hmm.
market
Hmm.
and giving it to them. And that's one of the things that you do, whether it's intuitively, organically, naturally, or whatever guidance you get. But I always say to people that clarity is cash when it comes to speaking,
Hmm.
because if you like when I was first starting as a speaker, I would do anything,
Hmm.
teamwork, leadership, diversity, you know what I mean? And I didn't have that lane. So when people went to Google me, they didn't know what I did. They're like, I know she does a lot of things, but I don't know what it is. So
Hmm.
as when we're branding ourselves, people need to identify, oh, okay, Emmanuel helps me to heal, whether it's financial, relationship, money, so that I can have success in an easy breezy way. Kind of, so
Yes.
I know what you do. It's not like, oh, he does everything. So I
Hmm.
think that's really important because you're super clear on that. And even though every month or every quarter could be something different based
It's
on the
about healing.
climate,
Yes.
healing,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, it's about healing. And healing to me, again, a lot of people think of it as like some people may think of it as woo woo or whatever. For me, I think of it as ease and peace, bringing back the
Yeah.
ease and peace into your body, into your energy, so that your world starts to mirror that back to you.
And by the way, let them know about your website because you always have like poverty cleanses and all these free
Oh,
gifts and
yeah.
videos. And
Yes.
can you
So
give me your website?
thank you. So I have 3 free healing sessions. Some of my colleagues were like, that's crazy. Why are you giving so much? But again, I wanted to do that because it's really important for me to give. And so you get 3 1-hour healing sessions. And you can just go to Emmanuel Dagher. That's Emmanuel Dagher, D as in David, Agher.com. And, it's all right there. You just opt in. And then I'll also once or twice a month, I send out the energy forecast, which kind of shares what's going on energetically in the world, kind of gives you practical tools to help you navigate through what's going on. If it's emotional stuff, if it's financial stuff that you're going through, usually a lot of people find a lot of answers in the energy forecast, which are also on my website, and you get them via email. And also, I send out free gifts and other audios as well to my email list often. So, EmmanuelDacker.com.
Yes, and I'll put it in the show notes so everyone can stay connected. And I will just say that I purchased the abundance program and then did the chakra program, and now I'm in his inner circle club miracles. Do you I haven't even been able to write down all the miracles, but the biggest miracle that happened for me was just a feeling of support. Like
Mm,
instead of feeling like I'm doing my life by myself, because being a business owner and being a single woman in the world, it's not easy.
mm-mm,
It's not easy. It is challenging, but
mhm,
I don't feel I'm doing it alone.
mhm.
Since you and Zayed, because he has a partner,
Yeah.
started praying, and I was like, how is this gonna work? They're gonna pray for me, and I'm not gonna be with them, and like, but
Mhm.
I'm very faithful. And just like as soon as like Thursday night would come, 7 p.m., I'd be like, I feel like a little light. I'm like, something's
Yeah.
happening. So and I'd wake up and I'd like pray for relationships. I like send
Mhm,
intention in his group.
mhm,
The next thing you know, I would have 3 dates. I'm like, wow, this is really working. Or I would send intention for more speaking engagements.
mhm,
And then out of the blue, suddenly I'm being asked for more keynote
mhm.
speaking engagements again without the hustle, pushing, pulling.
Yeah.
So there so you are the epitome of the Success with Ease and Grace program, which I believe that I have been enrolled on, but it was
Yes.
more theoretical. And what I
Yes.
feel that you help me do is embody it. So anyone, I highly recommend all of Emmanuel's programs and work. If you get a chance to see him
Mhm,
live, definitely get on his newsletter,
mhm.
follow him on Facebook. Can you give your Facebook page so they can watch?
Yeah, just Facebook / Emmanuel Dagger 1, and that's the community page. Everyone, we're very active. I'm always commenting and liking and talking to people there. So it's really fun. I wanted to always create a community rather than some place where you're just talking at something, someone, or you just want to be in a space of camaraderie and family. That's what it's all about. And I wanted to share that Club Miracles for me is my baby. I've been doing it for 12 years now,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's something that I've kept. Yes, and it's
Really?
something that I've kept. very low key. I don't really do a lot of promotion on it, but people kind of just find it. And it's something that just truly has given me so much light in my life, because one of the things that I go back when I was a kid, I promised the universe that if I escaped the war, if I was, I would spend the rest of my life helping people. And I do that in other ways, but that's my family. And anytime you have a question, I'm always, it's me or Ziad. We are there to um, answer and support and heal, and anything you need, we're there to support you. And we offer healing sessions, live calls. We do our in our morning meditations, we hold a space for what you desire. So there's always, every day there's something going on. And to me, that's why I feel like my blessings are expanding in so many other arenas, is
Yeah.
because I'm keeping it super affordable. I want
Yes.
everyone to access it. Some of the people who I know, they're like, oh, people are charging thousands a month for this. How can you just be charging nickels and pennies? I'm like, well, you know what? This is what I do. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it to help people. So Club Miracles is my baby, and I'm so grateful that you're in it.
And your people are so loving and supportive. Like if you go to his page or when you go to his Facebook isn't just like him posting, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing there. There's like 1,000 comments underneath his post because everyone's like, yes. And everybody's you'll get the most positive, energetic people you'll ever met. Like Carolyn, she's the one
Yes.
that inspired me to start, because she's like, Emmanuel, you're the best and you're this and you're that. And so
Yeah.
the spirit of the energy of the people that you attract are so amazing. And you're so amazing. So
Oh,
just one last question before we
yes.
go. If there was one piece of advice that you would give to an expert that is ready to bring their message out the world, to give birth to it, what would
Mhm.
you say to them?
Um, Go for it. Whatever it is, it's a spark that's coming. It's a deep desire. And a lot of times people think that desires are, oh, well, it's coming from my mind. A deep desire comes from your spirit. There's
Yes.
something within you that wants to birth itself, whether it's through speaking or teaching or healing or supporting, whatever it is, it wants to be birthed. So honor that desire as something far greater than the mind could even come up with. It's coming from your soul, it's coming from your essence. And when you recognize it from that space, it will become more challenging for you to not take action. So when you see it from that space and honor it, go for it. Everything else will just open up for you.
I totally agree, because if you have that ember, that ignite energy of that, even that little spark, it's because you have the talent and the ability to do it. So
Yes.
don't let the how stop you from following that inner spark, that vision, that dream. It
Mm-hmm.
is, I believe, your soul's contract. And my mentor, you may know her, Emmanuel, her name is Oprah. I think she's your neighbor.
Yes.
I think
I
she's your
love
neighbor.
her.
So she said that when you match your personality with what your soul came here to do, you can't not be successful, because
Mm,
that is your destiny.
absolutely.
And
Ah,
is that cool?
you're light. You're so, I can see light just coming from your eyes. It's just miraculous. I love you.
I love you too. Okay, friends. So thank you so much for being a part of the Be a Paid Speaker Now podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. I told you this was going to be good. It went so fast. So please tune in each and every week as I bring you experts that support you with their secret sauce, strategies, and help you to ignite that flame that is your speaking career. Because remember, you are the messenger for the message. And with the power of synergy, anything is possible. Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Join us next week for more juicy secrets to get you paid to hit that stage. If you would like to grab my free ebook on how to be a confident speaker, go to www.deborahderas.com/speak now. And remember, you are the messenger for the message. See you next week.